Hi, good morning, good afternoon, depending on when you're watching this video. I'm Betsy Schwartz, and this is an overview of Reiki energy for healing, stress reduction, anxiety reduction, and a whole lot of other things. So welcome, and I hope you enjoy this short presentation and that you take advantage of the longer presentation that I'll be doing as well. And I have a few notes here just so I do not miss anything I want to share with you. So first of all, I just want to share with you how I discovered Reiki, and then I'll get into more of what it is. I was first introduced to Reiki energy in the mid-90s when I was a postpartum doula and doing a lot of training, which I still do. And somebody had mentioned to me if I wanted to try it, and they told me what it was, which was basically just energy, and she explained a few other things, and I just thought it was kind of weird, and I said no thank you. And at that time I just wasn't ready to hear it or to participate or experience anything about Reiki. Fast forward, so that was in the mid-90s. 2012, I'd been several years into being friends with some people that were Reiki masters, and they were doing a lot of teaching locally, and they would mention it or ask me, and I just kind of passed it along. And I can't even tell you the exact time, but I know that it came to be because I was on a spiritual quest, which I still am. And people usually discover Reiki when they're on some type of quest with there's got to be more than this. And I think at that time, I had been studying Kabbalah a little bit, which is Jewish mysticism. And I'd been learning a lot there, but it seemed very complicated. And I soon got discouraged and a little frustrated. And then I decided to try the Reiki. And that was in 2012. And I've gone through the levels 1, 2, 3 and became a master, which simply means that I can attune other people to the Reiki energy. And yes, so I can teach the classes. That's why I'm called a master. But it's really about the practice, which I'm going to talk about a little bit here today. All right, so for those that may know a little bit or not know anything, Reiki is simply energy. That's all it is. You can't see it. It's here. It's everywhere. It's in us. It's between us. It's around us. You just can't see it. Although I have to say that at times I actually can see the energy. And I think that just is because I've been practicing for so long. But there is a way to do that. I diverse. Let me get back to the Reiki. It is simply energy. And that's all it really is in its simplest and purest explanation. But you can think about it like you would electricity, where you can't see it, or even like your cell phone. You know it works, but do you really literally know how it works? Yes, the signals go through a channel, right? The cell phone signals and the internet signal, right? It does go through the airwaves. And they're not really visible, although they can be with certain equipment. You can see it, but it's really a similar thing where I know it works. I don't know exactly how it works, but I do know it works. And the reason I know that Reiki does work, even though it's very simple and invisible, is because not only my own experience with Reiki, but other people that share with me when they come to me for a Reiki session. And so I'll share a little bit with you on that. I've had people that, for example, can't sleep, trouble sleeping. So they come to me, and within 10 minutes they're out. They're on a massage table. Typically you can be seated or laying, fully clothed. But there's an example. I've had many people like that where they're having a lot of trouble sleeping and they fall asleep. That happens a lot because Reiki does work on your subtle body energy, and it works on our main systems. So if you're having trouble sleeping and you are anxious for whatever reason, and you're very stressed. It puts a lot of strain on your organs, etc., which I'll get into in the full session. So the Reiki can help regulate all those systems, to just keep it on the simple and general for now. So that's what it does, and the receiver just relaxes and receives the energy. I've known other people who have had physical ailments, conditions, for example, say like an earache or a headache or something like that, and they will come for Reiki, and they do feel much relief. Sometimes it's one and done, and whatever it was goes away. Other times it takes more than one session. One time I remember giving Reiki to somebody in a crowded space, waiting for an event to occur, and she just mentioned she had a shoulder issue, and I said, well, hey, if you want some Reiki, while we're waiting. So it wasn't a meditative, quiet space. However, she did share with me that the shoulder pain went away, and she doesn't know what I did. I don't know what I did. All I did was I did Reiki, which again is just simply energy. Actually, you hover like this, or maybe a very light touch, so light that you could barely feel it. And we'll get into a little more of that in the full session of what it looks like. But basically, along those lines with the session, as I mentioned, you can be seated, and you can even do Reiki in a group where you have people seated, and you have practitioners that actually give the Reiki. Of course, right now, currently, I do have some people that still are comfortable with the up close and the Reiki receiving, but otherwise you can do it from a distance, which is a whole nother thing. But in the same room with a group, you can give Reiki and you can be separated. And in fact, we just had a small Reiki share here, and for 10 minutes, and people reported some really interesting experiences, positive experiences with the Reiki. So again, I don't know how exactly it works, but it does work. And it's really, I, as the practitioner, am the channel for the energy. So it isn't my own energy, which I think sometimes is confusing. Am I giving my energy, or am I sucking negative energy out? No, not at all. So let's talk about that for a minute. Reiki is not any religion. There's no manipulating. It's not invasive. It can be used with any and all modalities. If you're experiencing something and you're going to a doctor for pain meds or other, physical therapy or whatever, you can do the Reiki with that. There are a lot of studies, which I'll get into in the full presentation, for pre and post surgery, cesarean section, for example, how it can be used with cancer patients for pain relief, and the cesarean for the pain relief. So I'll share some of those studies in the fuller presentation. There's a lot that can be, a lot of people can benefit from the Reiki, let me just say that. But it definitely is not any religion. It's not voodoo. It's, you can be from any walk of life, male, female, young, old, and you can experience the Reiki. You can actually become a Reiki practitioner, which is what I encourage. I have some longtime clients that are so ready for that right now, because what happens is, if you decide you want to try Reiki and have a Reiki session, whether it be in person or a distance session, once you experience the Reiki, and if you continue to, it's something you want to do, because you do want to share it with other people, and that's the beauty of it. It's the most simple practice that anybody can do anytime. As a practitioner, if I haven't had Reiki sessions, say, from someone else for a while, I still do Reiki on myself every day. I do Reiki on my dog. You can Reiki your plants, anything that's live, and everything has energy running through it. So you can use it in so many ways, which actually reminds me to the horse story. Twice we as a group, as a Reiki group, have given Reiki to some horses in distress and abused horses, sadly. And that was the most amazing thing, to just see the relaxation in the horse. How at first, I remember one horse that was just really resistant, and I'm not a horse person, but I love horses, but I haven't been around them my whole life. But I was working on the horse and looking at the horse, and I just saw the moment when the horse kind of let go and relaxed, because he was a little feisty, and it was an amazing experience. And that will happen with people as well, of course. You can see it, you can sense it, feel it once you start practicing Reiki, and you have a better sense of the whole process. Okay, what is next? Okay, so another thing I want to share in the brief session here is the fact that you may have read about Reiki or seen or heard or know something about it. There are many different styles of Reiki and ways to learn and practice, just like, I don't know, I hate to use massage, but I'll use it. You've got different types and styles of massage. Well, the same with Reiki. It's all the same principle, but different people have expanded and kind of made it their own and changed it up. So for myself, I've been trained in Usui Reiki. So that is traditional Reiki, Mikao Usui, who brought the Reiki over from the East to the West. It is an Eastern modality that's been around for a very long time. And in the full session, I'll get into that, about Usui's experience and how he came to the Reiki and was able to put a system together and pass that along. Because that is important, because really the Reiki, right now everything's being done online, and I understand that. However, with Reiki, there is a moment when you pass along teacher, master to student, the actual Reiki energy as an attunement. And I can explain that also a little bit more in the full session. But you can do it from a distance. And so you can learn everything about Reiki, and you can be attuned from a distance, excuse me. However, it is something that is passed along, and there is a Reiki lineage. But again, right now, of course, everybody's getting creative and doing things a lot of different ways. So just to sum it up, Reiki is a practice. There are some Reiki principles that you can use in your life every day. There is a lot of research, or I should say there is quite a bit of research on Reiki for stress reduction and for anxiety and a whole host of other mental and physical ailments. And it's still not as mainstream as I'd like it to be. However, it is being used in a lot of the major hospitals. So you might find that near you. And what I'd love to say is for you to check out more about Reiki. Feel free to reach out to me. I think my contact information will be here if you want to just learn more about what it is, or something isn't clear in what I'm explaining. And I encourage you to hop on, for the full session, where I'll really get into a little bit more about how it works and how it came over to the West, and some of the things that I touched on in this initial session. So great. Hope to see you in the full session. And on that one, if you're watching video, I will have some slides to go along with my presentation. I thought for this one I would just introduce myself and tell you a little bit about the Reiki. All right, so we'll see you in the full session. Thanks so much.